Splitgate is by far one of the most refreshing multiplayer shooters I've played in a long while. It is a homage to a classic genre of first-person shooters that has kind of died and became irrelevant over the past decade, with Halo and Quake Champions being the only valid survivors. With the rise of hero shooters like Overwatch, Paladins and Bloodborne, and especially class-based shooters like Call of Duty, Battlefield and Warface, the arena shooters genre just faded from the scene. Now before Splitgate, there was an attempt to revive the genre back in 2017 with the now defunct Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers tried to bring the hardcore arena shooter feel to a modern era and consoles, mainly the PS4. A lot of arena shooters that were released on consoles before Lawbreakers, like Time Splitters 2 or GoldenEye, were often much slower than your Unreal Tournaments or Quakes. Now that's not to say that there wasn't Quake or Unreal Tournament on the PS2 or Xbox, but at the time, arena shooters like those felt more suited to a keyboard and mouse. Therefore, games like Time Splitters were instantly a better option for the controller. But Lawbreakers was very much optimized for controller play. Although not perfect, it was playable at most. 2017 also saw the release of Reflex Arena, another attempt at reviving the genre, although it was pretty much left under the radar. Splitgate is the game we needed for years. It's not just reviving the arena shooter genre just for the sake of it, but it's adapting on it, modernizing it, making it a little more accessible but also adding game-changing mechanics. Like a lot of people say, it's like if Portal and Halo accidentally had a child and realized this child has potential to be something greater. Let's just get into the video. This is a longer intro than expected. Splitgate adds a mechanic that would often be a little complicated to adjust for a controller, while keyboard and mouse players can ease into it a lot easier. That is creating portals. Portals can essentially give you an advantage over your enemy or even give your enemy an advantage over you with that same portal. This mechanic is honestly top notch and really spices the way the game is played. You're able to even close portals right in front of the enemy. The scenarios you can set up while using this mechanic is honestly art to my ears. It's tactical but it's clever. It also adds a decent learning curve. Although my one problem with the portals is the fact that whoever made that said portal is the only one who can see through it, as well as shoot through it. Meaning you'll occasionally see players camping by their portals. If anybody could see through any portal, I'd be a bit happier. Now while it's easy to use and make your own portals, it takes time before you know how to screw up your enemy in style. But there is one slight problem, which could be for the better or worse. Using portals isn't a huge requirement. It isn't required to use this game's game-changing mechanic, the selling point of the game. In fact, you could actually be better off not using portals at all. Playing the game like Halo without the portal influence works either way. This could be good for new players who still want to win while learning this mechanic, or bad for the reason I mentioned earlier. Either way, it's still fun to play. Other than portals, everything else about Splitgate is pretty much amazing. Gunplay feels great to say the least. Traversal is simple, but with the portal mechanic it makes traversing around the map a lot more interesting, and combat is fast and intense just like the good old days. And one thing I really appreciate is the time to kill. It's not as quick like in Quake or Reflex Arena, but it doesn't take forever like in Halo. The time to kill allows you to escape or win gunfights with a pinch of health left. Aiming for the head can absolutely destroy opponents with quick succession. The best advice I can give somebody is to always keep your reticle slightly up and as far from the ground as possible, and it works just fine. It's also regenerative health, which might be a turn off for some, but if you love Halo, you'll feel right at home. When it comes to the arsenal at your disposal, it's fairly good. You have an SMG with some killer handling and fire rate that can absolutely drain one's health. There's also a regular scoped AR, which is my go-to weapon since its damage and fire rates are damn near perfect for my playstyle. The shotgun, which is a one tap to the head and chest, feels so good to use. This thing is overpowered and feels mad satisfying. The anticipation before firing a shot feels rewarding. Although I can't help but notice how little ammo it has, it's probably to balance it out. There's also a sniper that is similar to those in Halo. I'm sorry if I compare this game to Halo so much, it just is what it is. Honestly, nothing too special with it except that I wish its fire rate was a teeny bit faster, because there's just times where I really wish this thing could shoot a little bit faster. Many times in fact. There's also the battle rifle, which is a burst rifle at heart. I actually really appreciate the balancing on this weapon, because this thing could easily be very overpowered, but with a lot of damage and a fair fire rate, you can at least combat it, with your fingers crossed. There's also the railgun, which is much needed for that nostalgic arena shooter feel. Although I don't enjoy using this thing much, it is great that it is in the game, but just know that it does some stupidly crazy damage. There's also the BFB, which is a baseball bat that absolutely demolishes people and feels so satisfying to use. As one whack can send a person off to a neighboring country, I kid you not. But it is limited in how many times you can use it, just so that someone with the BFB isn't running around whacking people to the skull for all eternity. The carbine, a single fire marksman rifle, which I don't really like that much, but that's just my playstyle. And there's a few other weapons too. For the overall presentation, Splitgate looks and pretty much runs like a free-to-play game. There's a battle pass, pricey microtransactions, loads of skins and cosmetics, and loot drops. It's all here. The art direction is slightly similar to Reflex Arena and a bit of Halo, which isn't too bad. This game has vibrant locations with a variety of styles and aesthetics, from palaces in the Oasis to platformer-friendly minefields, futuristic stadiums / arenas to these simulation maps, as well as a few jungle-esque maps with a lot of vegetation. Accompanying these great looking maps is the amount of game modes Splitgate has. Now I haven't played all of them yet since there's so many, so I won't be mentioning some game modes, as I try to keep my reviews and analysis as honest as possible. There's your regular team deathmatch, free for all and domination. But then there's party modes such as gun game, which is surprisingly really fun in Splitgate than in Call of Duty, where each kill grants you a higher level weapon. VIP, where both teams need to try to kill each other's VIP for points. Team SWAT, where headshots are insta-kills. And Shotty Snipers, in which you are equipped with a shotgun and a sniper with TDM rules. Oh, and there's also a mode that's like Kill Confirmed, but instead of just running through enemy dog tags, you have to teabag the enemies, well, teabag. I personally don't like this mode since it's a little childish and I'm personally not the one to teabag other players, but hey, glorify those old gaming memories, why don't you? But I really do appreciate the fact that Splitgate doesn't take itself seriously. It's all about pure fun, and there's tons of fun to be had here. There's something for everybody, both for those who want fast-paced and intense action with a competitive tone, and for those who just want to have a laugh and just a fun laid-back experience. Splitgate is a love letter to the arena shooter genre, but instead of just copying and pasting what made that genre of games good, Splitgate takes those things, modernizes it with a few unique additions, while also making it a lot more accessible than games like Quake Champions or Unreal Tournament. We need more games like this in the coming time. Games that take a formula, manipulate it and make it their own, with unique and innovative features and content. We've been missing that, as almost every shooter's been ripping off Call of Duty, Siege, CSGO or Battlefield, with nothing game changing that makes it different from the games that they're trying to compete with. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Warface. Hey there, I haven't done a postscript talk in a while, so I guess now's a perfect time to do so. It's been a little hard to make videos during these past 3 weeks since school has been crazy busy, and still is. I mean, tasks left and right, tests to study for, homework, stress, it's crazy to say the least. I'm currently working on another big project, similar to the Rise and Fall of Infamous remake, which is doing pretty well, although not quite surpassing expectations, but at least it's being received well. Anyways, this big project, which is a passion project, is going to be probably my most personal script and video I've ever written and made for this channel. I'm going to be analyzing Telltale Games' forgotten Back to the Future game. Yep, we're going back in time, both virtually and mentally. See you till then.